Hey, this is Ryan Brunkhorst here, and today we're going to quickly look at some methods I use for note taking in my coursework and while I'm preparing for professional IT certifications. We're going to look at how I take notes with digital books and articles, and also how I take notes while viewing videos, because it's always important to be able to summarize what you've seen and be able to use that in your class assignments and whatnot. So first things first, we're going to look at the digital notebook platform OneNote, but all these principles can be applied to Word, Google Docs, and even Evernote if you use that. I simply find OneNote to be the most robust of those platforms, and it's easy access over the web, the desktop app, or the mobile app. It looks like for some reason I was pressing a bunch of buttons here, and I messed up my notes there. So let's see. Let me get to my script. So the first thing I like to do with digital books is do sort of a split screen, because with like a platform like Kindle or Chegg, you're not going to be able to copy and paste that into whatever your note-taking platform is, due to copyright reasons, obviously. If you could copy and paste out of Kindle, no one will buy Kindles because they'd all be on some sort of torrent site, for free. So to deal with that, I like to take notes while I'm reading chapters and just sort of paraphrase and mark down, which page numbers certain ideas are on in case I have to go back to fill out an assignment. So first things first, here's Kindle here for a book I'm reading for a class, and I have OneNote here. And the nice thing about Windows is you can take one of your windows here, drag it to the side, and then you're able to click the other item you want to have in split screen. And so you can basically go through digital book here on the left and take notes on the right. So I'll go to a blank page here, and you can maximize that page on OneNote. And it's kind of handy. You can take notes here. You can also take notes within Kindle. I just find it harder to go back to, and I do highlights in case I'm going back to a page where I marked something in OneNote or I paraphrased. But the note taking isn't very robust, at least in my opinion. It's easy to do, but let's see. For some reason, the menu's not showing up. Oh, so I can say show notes. It will then sort of show me where that is. It's not very user friendly in my opinion, so I'd rather take notes here on OneNote. And so I'll paraphrase things here on the right. Let's see if I can find an example of that. Excuse me. For instance, this is chapter 2 of the book on the left. Some of our guiding questions. I took a screenshot, which is really handy, and I'll show you that on the videos as well. If you don't feel like copying any of this, you can actually hold the Windows key, Shift, and S. It'll lock the screen, and then you can select what you'd like to copy. That will copy it to the clipboard, and then you click into OneNote here, hit Control-V, and it will paste it into OneNote for you. So that's kind of handy if there's a big block of text that you can't copy over because it won't allow you to, but you'd like to grab it word for word and not have to type it out. So you can do that with a screenshot. And what's nice about OneNote is it'll actually be searchable text. It can search through an image, and you can even right-click on an image and choose this option, copy text from picture. It's not perfect, but you can then find an open space, Control-V, and it copies everything there. And it uses OCR technology to kind of do that, like you can do with some scanners. So that's an option. That's an option as well. But know that all the images in OneNote here are searchable. So you can look for, let's see if we can get well developed. And you see it's actually pulling up the same page we're on, and it's searching through the image. So that's one of the things I really love about OneNote, is that it will index images and all text, and it's pretty easy to find where you wrote that down, which page you wrote it in, which section of OneNote. I know we're not going over kind of the functionality of OneNote, but just showing you that this is what I do when I'm studying in a class or for a test. And in case for a test, I used it for the Security Plus. You can see all these different videos I watched on Udemy, the CCENT, which is the first part of the Cisco CCNA. I did pretty much every video, and copied those notes here. Did a lot of my tests here if I'm looking to practice subnetting. I really just love putting everything into OneNote. It's a big dumping ground for my notes. And I can always go back to them. And here's the second part of the CCNA. And I did every single video that I was watched on CBT Nuggets. I took notes for it. And some of them were labs, some of them were just conceptual. See, these are the do I know this already tests. I would do those in my paper book and then take the answers down here and see how I did. So yeah, I really love OneNote. It's worked out really well for me. And here's some other tests I've been wanting to pursue. Haven't finished yet, but I always have these notes to go back to when I decide to pick it up again. And of course, here's some coursework for a graduate seminar I'm taking now. Let's see. So yeah, I typically try to take notes for every chapter and every article I have to read for class. And when it comes to articles, I like, if they're PDFs, to throw them into Mendeley. Mendeley is kind of an article organizational program. It's great in that you can kind of choose what citation style you want, and you can actually click and drag these into Microsoft Word, and it'll copy it over in that citation style, and it's pretty accurate. I do double check it. There's a few things like it doesn't quite do article titles correctly in APA, but that's easy to fix, and you don't have to do all that by hand. But mainly I like it as a screen reader or as a PDF reader. I can double click on an article and it brings it up here, and the best thing about it, I think, is that you can actually go into the PDF, Control C to copy, and then go into OneNote and copy it right in. And typically I'll just put page 33, and the page will be concerned with that one article, so I'll know what that's referring to. And that's been really helpful when it's come to writing research papers. You can also make notes here in Mendeley. I don't know if I can remember which articles do have notes and highlights, but they'll also show up here, kind of similar to Kindle, but a bit more robust, easier to navigate, definitely. But yeah, Mendeley is a great research platform, and it works really well with OneNote, at least how I've used it. So let's see, the last thing that we want to go over is videos. So typically, with a video, we're not typically people will just watch the videos without taking notes, and I think that's a really bad plan if you want to retain any of the information. I'm clicking through trying to find it here. Let me see. I think there's another course where I may have an embedded video. Sorry, bear with me just 1 minute. Let's see. Of course, when you're doing things live, it doesn't always work out. Well, if we look at like the Sammer method, this was from a video that I was watching with, I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy who invented the Sammer model. And rather than writing all this down, I decided just to use the Windows Shift S to capture the screen, grab the image I wanted to, and I just pasted it in here. And this text is going to be searchable. So if I type in Sammer over here, well, it already found the page. But if I say jump over to another page here, right? Yeah, it sees that there are two articles that talk about that. Let's see if I took Sammer out of the title here. Let's go back over here. Yeah, it's still finding that as one of the top picks because Sammer is here in the image. So it's worked out really well for me. So watching videos kind of on the split screen, just like I've had these articles, and then copying that using the clipboard into OneNote has been great for me to take note and extract the information I find most useful. I also recommend when you're watching videos to pause to kind of reflect on what they're saying and maybe paraphrase maybe what the main point of the video has been talking about at that point. here on the right in OneNote. Otherwise, you're going to watch videos and they're just going to kind of, you're only going to gloss through and get a very basic understanding and not pull out those better nuggets. So, show you a quick example of that. I'll just load up YouTube. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. There we go. And a bunch of video game stuff. Let's not do that. Let's check out the Sander method. And we can play it here.
Okay, we all know that using technology.
Let's see.
Who believes that using technology allows us to think differently and perform new tasks.
After all, if we have today's technology, then why teach like we did 20 years ago?
There you go. And here's another example we can grab. If we just wanted to grab this information, we can do that as well. It's really easy to put into OneNote, and it's all searchable, like I keep saying. So those are just some of the methods I like to do while I'm studying for professional certification or studying for a course. And especially in a course, you'll be able to refer back to all your notes, and it's much easier to write your papers or write your reflections, whatever your instructor asks of you. So I hope this has been useful information. If it has, go ahead and let me know in the comments, or if it hasn't, let me know how I can improve. So appreciate you viewing. Take care.